Hello everyone and welcome back to Red Embrace Hollywood. Before we get started, I tried to do a recording session before. I didn't record anything. I forgot to push record, so now we're back here again. So if you see like choices grayed out, those are going to be the choices I'm going to be picking again. Luckily for me, I noticed right before I think a big choice, so that should be not picked or anything, unless I panic clicked because I was like, oh no, I'm not recording anything. I didn't try to re-record the same day because I am sick. Thank God it was really short. I still have a bit of a cough. Hopefully I forgot everything that happened the time I didn't record anything. If you're interested in playing this game yourself, there will be links in the description to buy it on itch.io and on Steam. If you want to support the devs via Patreon, that will also be in the description. I'll probably remind you at the end. Probably not. Why do I do this at the beginning? Because if I don't, I'll forget to do it at the end. In the last part, Randall got shot. Just shot in the neck. He's fine. But that happened. It was traumatic for me. And now we're looking for a murderer who has killed 3 vampires that we know of so far. And apparently they're in the sewers, because that's how they're hiding their scent. So, we're with someone named Cedric. Hopefully that's the right name. We have a gun and a knife on us. We'll see how it goes. I sort of already know how it goes, why we've been doing this, so let's go. My senses were already prickling on high alert as I stepped out of the car. Motioning for me to follow, Cedric carefully stalked down the nearest alley, one hand tucked into his jacket. Sure enough, a manhole cover on the ground was slightly cracked open, marked by the lingering presence of a vampire. We crawled down the ladder, dropping into the rat-infested depths. The sewer's potent smell instantly clouded my head, and Cedric wrinkled his nose in disgust. Oh, my nose got a little stuffy there. Ugh. Why'd it have to be the sewer? I already know his reaction. I want to choose this one now, because I know his reaction. Well, Cherise said they chose it to mask their scent, or, well, real estate is pretty expensive these days. At the same time, it's not really in character, so we'll go with the usual, because commitment. I already chose it, let's go. Cherise said they'd done it to mask their scent. I know that, dumbass. Haven't you heard a rhetorical question? That was one too, in case you missed it. Snorting with contempt, Cedric pulled out his own gun and started to creep forward. Watch the back, stay close to me. He gestured for me to turn sideways, following him with my back to the wall. In our cautious formation, we started to slowly move along the sewer's path. The acidic smell of vampire blood rose over the stench, taking us deeper into the tunnels. I could tell Cedric felt just as anxious as I did, maybe more so. His eyes darted around constantly, lips pulled back to show gritted teeth. As we rounded the next corner, something caught my eye behind us. I instinctively jumped back, squinting to try and make it out. But it was only a rat hopping out of the water. Phew, glad it was nothing, or silently hurry back to Cedric's side. We're gonna go that way. Silently hurry back to his side, if we can, if he is there. I turned around, hurrying to catch up with Cedric. But he was gone. Great. Awesome. I hate this. I hate this so much. I hate it even more now that I know what's gonna happen. I could still detect his presence, but it was quickly getting distant. How had he vanished so suddenly? There was only one choice. I had to follow him. If I tried to leave now, the killer could probably grab me before I escaped. And Cedric might still be alive. Focusing on his scent, I hurried after them, trying to keep my footsteps silent. At first it seemed like they were moving incredibly fast, getting further and further away. But soon I realized I was getting closer. They must have stopped moving. A few steps further, and I heard a strange wet sound echoing down the tunnel. I hate it! I don't like it. Until just around the next corner, I spotted them. A thin, androgynous figure crouched before a limp body. I couldn't tell what they were doing, but I saw their hand repeatedly moving up to their face, then back to the corpse. Oh god, I hate it. Cannibalism. God, that is how they get their powers, though. Like, you don't get vampire powers by drinking their blood. You get it by eating their flesh. So that's just gross, and I hate it. Their other hand worked in a sawing motion, and as the awful smell of vampire blood filled the air, I realized they were cutting off Cedric's flesh. Hands behind your head now, or quietly approach. I obviously chose quietly approach, let's go. Trying to move as soundlessly as possible, I started to approach the figure. It seemed like they didn't notice my presence until... I hate it! I hate it! I still hate everything about you, dude. He abruptly rose to his feet, jerking towards me. You have pretty eyes. A pretty eye. The dim sewer lights flickered over corpse-like skin, a painfully thin body, and a belt of glittering tools. Half of his face was strangely beautiful, and the other half was deeply disfigured. Something screamed at me to look away, but something stronger kept my eyes fixed in place. Oh, hello. Hi. I hate it. I hate the music, it's so... The man finally offered a casual greeting, slipping his still dripping scalpel into his belt. Then he lifted a bone-thin arm to wipe off his blood-stained lips, which peeled back to reveal yellowed teeth. Human teeth, not fangs. I was wondering when you'd finally show up. But you just had to bring along a friend, didn't you? I had to, man. Back up. His voice didn't match his appearance one bit. A smooth, pleasant baritone rising and falling almost playfully. Well, that's all right. I don't think he'll be eavesdropping on us anytime soon. Have you been the one killing all these vampires, or what the hell are you talking about? You just murdered someone. I already know his reaction. It makes me want to choose this one. But questions. I always question everything. It's my downfall. It's fine. Have you been the one killing all these vampires? How about I let you work that one out yourself? I've heard you're pretty smart, but I have to say, you're not showing it right now. Thanks, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty smart because I ask a lot of questions, I guess? Question mark? He slowly shook his head, giving me an unsettling smile. Right. You don't know who I am, do you? Nope. No, of course you wouldn't. You can call me Lazarus. But you might know me as the one who was supposed to get bitten. Oh, great. 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 Wonderful. You mean at the abattoir? What happened? Or, that's insane. Charisse wouldn't turn a serial killer. I don't know Charisse that well, apparently, so let's go with it. You mean the abattoir? What happened? Don't worry. We'll get to that in a second. I want to clear things up, though. I'm not a murderer. I'm a vampire hunter, which makes me the hero here, not the villain. Uh-huh. You know, like soldiers, policemen, the guy who flips the electric chair switch. That's not the same thing. Why do you hunt vampires, then? Or, you can't compare yourself to those people. You can't compare yourself to those people. It's not the same thing. You're eating these vampires. But I just did. I know you did! That doesn't mean it's right! Lapsing into silence, he gave me a smile that lasted several seconds, growing more unsettling by the moment. Can we not do a close-up? I forgot about this. No, I don't want to see a close-up. Stop! I hate it! I don't know if you already realized this, but the true power of a vampire doesn't lie in their blood. Blood's only part of it, I know. The true power is in their flesh, I know. I learned that. Which one did I... So that's how you got... Okay. I was like, which one did I choose? Wait, don't tell me that you... Or silence? Or... So that's how you've been growing so powerful. Yeah, so that's how you've grown so powerful. It sounds disgusting, doesn't it? You can say it. I won't be offended. God, these faces... creeps me out. Nobody likes a cannibal. But blood drinking? That counts as sexy. It's a shame Lestats and Hannibal didn't switch places. He murmured distractedly for a moment, rolling his eyes in obvious scorn. But yes, that's part of the reason why I hunt vampires. The more vampires I kill and eat, the stronger I get. In fact, I've already got more power than a lot of your kind. I guess you can call it a vicious cycle. Why are you so intent on getting power? Or I have to admit, I'm kind of impressed. I'm not impressed. I'm freaking terrified. Why are you so intent on getting power? See, I don't have any big plans. Not anymore. I don't want to take over the world. Or even Los Angeles. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. He nonchalantly gestured to Cedric's ripped open corpse, bony shoulders lifting in a shrug. Hate it. Hey. Everybody needs an outlet. Killing is just how I self-medicate. Like difficult, hands-on therapy. But I'm a very difficult, hands-on person. As if to illustrate his point, Lazarus brushed a palm across his corseted waist. The truth is, I've been hunting vampires for some time now. Used to hunt a lot less often, without all the showmanship. I was afraid I'd get caught and killed. Most hunters are. Until one day, Charisse took notice of my efforts and contacted me. Charisse! That did not do favors for my voice. His voice abruptly grew strained. He kept smiling at me, but the look seemed frozen on his face, like someone had a gun against the back of his head. She and I, we made a deal. I'd get turned and serve her, and she'd take care of me. It sounded so nice. Lazarus took a long, deep breath, his emaciated chest rising and falling. So there I was, waiting inside the club, ready to graciously accept my promotion. It never came, though. My apologies afterwards didn't come either. And you have to do a follow-up, bitch. Charisse! See, at first I thought it might have been God playing one of his bad jokes. When he's not letting kids get raped or giving people cancer, he really likes to torture me. But no, it wasn't God. It was me. It was just this guy. Oh no, I forgot about this. It's the same reaction I had before. Silly me. It was just a guy named Andre. You know him, don't you? Yes, and he's just another egomaniac, or... No, I don't! Who's Andre? No, I don't. Who's Andre? Who? Andre who? Andre... What? Why are you trying to hide from me, Antonio? Didn't you already realize I've been watching you? He gave a long, almost disappointed... He gave me a long, almost disappointed look. You see, I captured a Golgotha who told me what happened that night. Andre ordered him to capture the Iskari who was supposed to turn me. He decided to ruin the one thing in my life I was looking forward to. And you know what? I don't even care about getting turned... And you know what? I don't even care about getting turned anymore. I just want him dead. By the time he trailed off to the By By the time he trailed off to that last word, Lazarus seemed to be talking to himself more than me. For a short while, he stared past me, his cold eyes vivisecting something unseen. But soon his focus snapped back to my face. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Alright, I'm done monologuing, even though all that self-pity feels so nice. I don't have anyone to talk to down here. The vampires never listen to me. Why would they? You're a vampire hunter. I guess this is when you try to kill me or capture me, right? Go ahead. Unless you want to make a deal, that is. What kind of deal? Or, I'd never make a deal with you. Or, all I want is to get out of here. I'll leave you in peace. What kind of deal? We gotta get info first. We gotta know what the hell's happening. A simple one. You don't bother me, I don't bother you. I keep hunting, waiting right here in my filth until it's time for all hell to break loose. Okay. When that happens, I'll kill everyone stupid enough to fight you. Okay. That just means that something big is gonna happen soon. And we're gonna need allies. And Lazarus is obviously like a good ally, but at the same time he's crazy. I don't want that in my life. I don't want that anywhere. God. I only have one condition, okay? When it's all over, you let me take Andre. No. No. I don't know who... What? Oh, my head hurts. I forgot this was a headache for me. I'm trying to choose. Oh, God. No, I don't want to do it. What do you mean by take him? Or, alright, Lazarus, you've got yourself a deal, or... That's not going to work, sorry. What do you mean by take him? Are you gonna eat him? Lazarus didn't say anything in reply. Cool, you're gonna eat him. No, cool, though. Actually, not cool. The opposite of cool. That's uncool. No! Instead, he just opened his mouth, grinning at me silently. Can we? No. Lazarus, no. Stop. No. This is where we stopped. As you can see, I didn't choose anything. I don't want to choose anything. I'm gonna save. No deal. No deal. No deal. I'm not going to, that's not going to work. I'm gonna die. That's not going to work, sorry. Huh. That's a shame, but I didn't expect anything less. You're an Iskari, aren't you? If I still had a pretty face, I'd bet you just love me. No, I wouldn't. Maybe I would. I don't know. My Iskari brain is just like... Anything that's pretty can't be bad. That's not true. Reaching down to his belt, Lazarus casually pulled out 2 shining knives. Cool. Cool. I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna run. Bye. Put yourself in my shoes. Imagine how much I hate you right now. Can we not do this? I mean... I have to do it if I don't want him running around. Just for existing at all. As soon as those words left his mouth. Oh my god, I can't read. The music is pumping. My heart is pumping with it. Let's go. He suddenly charged towards me, knives outstretched. A turn and run or fight back. What kind of vampire am I? The turn and run is me. I'm not gonna fight back. I'm gonna lose, right? Turn and run. Without hesitation, I turned my heel and dashed away. I didn't want to fight him. I didn't know if I could. That's me. Running from your problems. Yes! You'll just have to be faster than that. Cool! I mean, if you stop me, I'll fight then, but right now I'm gonna see if I can outrun you. Lazarus raced behind me, dangerously close on my heels. Even though he was human, he didn't even strain to keep up with me. In fact, his feet barely seemed to hit the ground, flying forward at incredible speed. Pulling on every ounce of my strength, I pushed myself as fast as I could go. Faster, faster, faster. I could still feel him right behind me, but a small distance was opening between us. Look at that. You really don't want to enjoy my company, do you? Not really, no. If I fought, would that... I don't want to know. I made my bed. I ran and ran and ran, losing track of how far I'd gone. My footsteps ricocheted off the walls, echoing in my ears like a screeching heartbeat. If only I could find a different exit, then maybe... Just as I was about to lose hope of ever escaping Lazarus, I realized his presence behind me had suddenly vanished. That's not... Don't stop running. Oh, Jesus. We're at the... That's me. That's my brain right now, just being like, we're not there. It's not safe to stop. I slowed to a halt, straining my senses to try and detect him again. But there was nothing. It's gonna get the drop on us. Maybe he was waiting nearby, hiding his scent among the filth. Or maybe he'd gotten bored and just left. Either way, sticking around to find out seemed like a bad idea. Yep. I'm gonna die. I hurried back to the entrance I'd arrived from with Cedric, though this time I was very much alone. I can't go back to Charisse! Oh god, she caused all this. Great. Great. And Andre? God. Charisse's car was still where Cedric and I had left it, but with the driver silently sitting inside. When I climbed in alone, he didn't say anything about my missing companion. And he didn't wait before taking off into the streets either. Jesus. Oh god. Well, we're not working together. But he's not dead. Would I have been able to kill him if I decided to fight back? Probably not. The air freshener scented lobby welcomed me back, almost shocking my senses. Some of the Iskari waiting around gave me looks as I walked by. They had to have noticed I was alone. Can we not? And at this rate, well... As soon as I stepped inside the meeting room, Charisse abruptly cut off her words to the agent. Hey, bud. They both stared at me for a few moments, obviously trying to figure out what had happened. Antonio? I see that Cedric isn't with you. It went south. It went south, girl, and this is your fault! And also that other guy's fault. I hate both of you. Charisse went silent for a short time, her eyes much more troubled and grave than usual. Then she glanced at the agent beside her, gesturing towards the door. If you'll allow us a moment, please. Of course. After a short nod, the man turned on his heel, swiftly making an exit. Girl. The killer! I presume you found them then? I ran away like an idiot. I feel bad about doing it, but at the same time it's like, instincts! Flee! 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 When we were by ourselves, she addressed me with a low, worried murmur. His name was Lazarus, or... Did you know it would be him? Lazarus? You knew, didn't you? Lazarus. No, of course I didn't. Are you lying to me? I swear to God, Charisse. I had considered the possibility, but I believed he was no longer a threat to us. How? Did you have his dead body right in front of you? Did you see it with your own eyes? Her face slowly darkened, expression flickering between disgust and worry. There is only one way for a vampire to increase their physical power, through the consumption of another vampire's flesh. I know that! Stop! Why did you think he was not a threat anymore? However, just as our blood is poisonous to each other, the flesh is too, with some incredibly rare exceptions. Only a few vampires have the immunity to stomach either. What if he's that one exception though? Can't risk this shit, girl! But for humans, consuming our bodies gives them incredible, though only temporary powers. This is how Lazarus grew so powerful. I know, he told me. We actually talked. He had promised to change his ways after he became an agent. That was before you entered the scenario, however, and he disappeared. He's dangerous, Charisse. I think he's going to keep hunting us, or I can't believe you were going to turn a cannibal, or I have a feeling he won't show himself again. He's gonna show up. He's gonna show up. He's dangerous, Charisse. I think he's going to keep hunting us. It's difficult to say for certain. For a moment her voice sounded a little uneven, even shaky. But when she spoke again, it had turned to a more cool, collected tone. Now that he's delivered his message, I don't know whether he'll keep killing. However, I will have my agents remain on high alert now that we know what we're facing. You have done admirable work nonetheless. I won't forget your bravery and tenacity in escaping his clutches. Thanks. Thanks. I gotta go tell everyone else now, because you're only gonna keep it in this car, probably. Jeez. I'm wondering if that choice will actually put points towards Lazarus returning and killing my ass. From the brisk way she cleared her throat, it was obvious she didn't want to discuss Lazarus any further. That is all. Please, leave me. About Cedric. Or leave. About Cedric. There's no need to explain further. I can already assume what happened. It is unfortunate, but he accepted the risk when he undertook this task willingly. Good night, Antonio. Thanks. I saw him dead and opened up in Eden. How does anyone walk away from that afterwards? Wow. That's fucked up. Leaving the meeting room behind, I returned to the lobby. Despite the length of my sewer adventure, the sun hadn't begun to rise yet. I had enough time to visit somewhere, or else I would stay at the hotel. Go somewhere. We're gonna go to Randall, just because. Randall. This is the beach house. If he's not there, I'm gonna be so sad. Randall! I've been traumatized. I had my driver take me to Santa Monica, deciding to stop by Randall's place. Ugh, do I smell like sewer? I didn't shower or anything. I pushed open the door, greeted by cheerful sounds of conversation and clinking glass. There was a quiet route inside, though Randall wasn't anywhere to be seen. Great. Chat with the Mavar. Yay, chat with the Mavar. I wandered over to the nearest group of Mavar, trying to pick up bits of their conversation. Can we just leave already? Man, I'm just so ready to get out and ride. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that Randall's not coming with us, though. Same here. But hey, he'll ride with us next time, I bet. From the way they were jostling keys and pulling on leather gloves, it seemed like they were heading out to ride their motorcycles. Hey, Antonio. You want to go with us? I think we can spare a bike that you can ride. Oh. A familiar Mavar called out to me, grinning brightly. Sure, let's go, or only if I can wear a helmet, or no thanks, I'm not a big motorcycle fan. You know what? Sure, let's go. Sweet, come on. Fuck safety. Even though brain damage will actually kill me. We spent the next hour or so racing along the beach, riding together under the moonlight. The Mavar hollered and cheered the whole way. And something about it reminded me of a pack running in the wild. All I could hear were their voices, the sound of roaring engines, and the ocean steadily crashing around us. For some reason, in those moments, I felt less human and more animalistic than ever before. Oh, did that affect my human-like thing? And by the time we finally returned to the house, the untamed, uncaged instinct still stirred deep in my chest. Okay, leave. We're gonna go to Saturnalia. How do you say word? if we have time. Because I haven't seen Heath in a while. Head back to my room. Like, we could also visit the abattoir. Fuck the abattoir. Fuck the abattoir. I made my way to Saturnalia, where the glamour of downtown LA served as a stark contrast to my earlier sewer crawl. It seemed like a quiet night, although a few people lined the booths and were mingling in the corners. When I glanced past a group of Golgotha by the bar, I noticed Heath standing off to one side, smoking a cigarette. A moment later, our eyes met, and he gave me a gentle smile. I'm weak. I'm fucking weak. I love Heath. He's precious. Antonio. When I stepped up to the bar, Heath turned to greet me, snubbing out his cigarette in an ashtray. The cigarette just disappeared, wow! You came by alone this time. This makes things a little more comfortable, I think. Did we already talk like this before? Was there anything you want to chat about? Was there something you wanted to chat about? Yeah! Something that happened recently... Did you know? Oh my god! I could talk about this! I met this guy, Lazarus, in the sewers. Lazarus? I think Charisse mentioned him a few times. She sounded a little warmer than usual whenever she brought up his name in conversation. That's weird. He hesitated briefly, digging his fingers into his scarf for a moment. But ever since around that time you returned, I haven't heard her say anything about him. It might be for the best if we didn't discuss Lazarus here, though. I think Charisse kept quiet about him for a reason. Did you know someone tried to assassinate Randall? They tried to assassinate him? That's horrible. The Mavar think it's in his car, or you don't know anything about it? The Mavar think it's in his car, yeah. It's fine. The Mavar think it was in Iskari. No, it can't be in Iskari. Not someone under Charisse's orders, at least. Heath sighed heavily, giving me a worried look. Please, Antonio, stay safe when you're around Randall. I'll try. He keeps me pretty safe, though. If we're in trouble, he tends to put me in the priority list. I don't want anything to happen, to you or him. About something else, we have questions to ask you. How about some questions? What counts as beautiful in your eyes? Could you tell me a little about your history? Oh yes. I'm not sure how much I told you already, or you guessed for yourself, but... I was born and raised in this place, in Hollywood. So it's all I've ever known, and I love it more than anything. I've been an actor ever since I was a little boy. I wasn't a world-famous one, but I made enough to survive here. His gaze slowly drifted to the floor, settling there as if held down by a weight. Then one night, I accepted the bite of an Iskari vampire. No lies or deception, I just said yes. It wasn't so long ago, but it almost felt like an eternity. It's easy to lose track of time, just standing here in the bar all night. Oh, who was your sire, or do you wish you'd said no? Did you wish you'd said no? Oh, you don't regret it. I don't know if I could answer that. I'm not so sure sometimes. It looked like my questions had made Heath a little uncomfortable, even though he kept up a smile. I love him! I have this soft spot for him ever since I played the demo, and I'm just like, it's hard for me to like rip out that softness and be like, no, I can't! What counts as beautiful in your eyes? Beautiful. Well, I love outward beauty as much as anyone else. A pretty eyes, soft lips, a body that's taken care of, tasteful clothes. Of course, I care about what's on the inside too. A kind, selfless heart. That's the most beautiful thing of all. Shut up. That's real sweet. But it's true that we judge our first impressions off appearances. Even if we don't admit it to ourselves, it's just human nature. I always keep that in mind. What kind of future do you dream of when the war's over? What are your thoughts on vampire pop culture? What kind of future do you dream of when the war's over? A future where we can all be ourselves. I don't know what that might look like, but with the right leader, anything is possible. Keith gazed at me intently, rolling his shoulders in a gentle shrug. What are your thoughts on vampire and pop culture? I haven't read a lot of books on them, but I've seen a few movies. The recent film with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, it's charming, I won't lie. I really liked it. And I understand the writer's choice, since there are so many things to romanticize about being a vampire. Though I think a film made by one would be very different. I can't. Closer to Nosferatu, maybe, or the original Dracula. Keith glanced towards the movie's posters on the opposite wall, exhaling a quiet laugh. Dude, you have those in your bar? I love him. About something else. Let's talk about someone else. Do you know Andre? Oh, you do? Yes, he's very, very smart and very, very capable. Okay. I'm just never really sure what's going on inside his head. It seems like he likes him. It's just, you met him before then, or how does he measure up to Charisse, or you've met him before then? Not much. Okay. But he invited you to visit, didn't he? A lot of people don't trust him because of his private meetings and the place he lives. You might not want to mention it to Charisse. Cool. Thanks for the advice. I'll try not to. I don't know. That depends on how the story is going. About something else. I think that's all. Okay. Yeah, we caught up. Or we got up to, like, today's questions. Because I'm not sure if we miss questions if we don't go on certain days. And we did not go a day for Heath. That's all for now, I think. I like talking to you. Alright. Stop. Enjoy your night, Antonio. You too. He gave me a soft, wistful smile before pulling away, stepping towards the shelves to make a drink. God, I love this boy. Chat to the patrons. It seemed to be mostly Golgotha in the bar tonight, isolated vampires brooding to themselves or small groups chatting about things I couldn't understand. They watched me closely, but nobody seemed particularly interested in striking up a conversation. Just as I was about to give up and head somewhere else, I noticed a few vampires off in a darker, more secluded area of the bar, murmuring as they passed something around. But when I drew closer, pulled by my curiosity, I realized they were filling up syringes. Needles gleaming with a dark red liquid. Bet you think we're pretty fucked up. One of them, a man who looked like he'd been turned in his late 40s, gave me a hoarse chuckle as I stepped closer. His eyes were dark and sunken, like two burnt-out light bulbs on a shallow, gaunt face. A bunch of vampire junkies. Not very sexy, is it? Is this a normal thing? Shooting up in the bar? Or I've learned that being a vampire is more depressing than sexy, or it's kind of unsettling, yeah. I've learned that being a vampire is more depressing than sexy. Yeah, not much worse than being human, though. He let out another dry laugh, though his eyes never held a trace of humor. Aww. We don't do it for fun, if that's what you think. Just do it to stop the visions. Oh, otherwise they're always going to pile up. He pulled the burnt-out cigarette from between his lips, using it to motion towards the needles. I get that. Especially if it's like, it's a power related to your house, and if it's something that just you can't really avoid, you're gonna look for ways to make it calm down or make it stop for a while. And that gets addicting, I guess. See those syringes? Got some morphine, Xanax, some antipsychotics to keep it all down, and some hard stuff we probably shouldn't be giving to the humans we drain. Gotta take it almost all the time, every day. Isn't there anything else you can do to suppress the visions? Or, that's awful, I'm sorry, or maybe if you didn't suppress them, you could learn to deal with them. Fuck. But maybe it's too much for them to do, because it seems like... I don't know! Man, I wonder how this conversation, if you get it as a Golgotha, how it works out. Isn't there anything else you can... that's awful, I'm sorry. You get used to it. Wake up, shoot up, get hungry, shoot up. Before you go out, shoot up. When you get back, shoot up. Before the sun rises, shoot up. Lots of them. Ones with the really bad visions. They almost get into a frenzy when they come off the high. Have to get the needle in them as soon as they can, before the visions come back. The man flicked his cigarette onto the floor, where it joined the scattered dirt, blood droplets, and ash. For us, you either go crazy, or you go crazy trying to act like you're normal. Just the way it's always been. That's shitty. Because there's gonna be some people that can't handle that, like, at all. Like, it doesn't matter if you're put in that house just because of however you were, and just because of your sire. You're not gonna be able to handle that. Some people won't have the mental strength to handle all that. After a long pause, he turned his lifeless stare over to my face, watching me numbly. Well, I'm gonna head out into the back. Take care. Rubbing a hand along his forehead, the man turned to follow the other Golgotha into a side hallway. The sound of the dragon heels followed them out of sight, until finally that disappeared too. Damn, that's shitty. I'm having feelings. I don't like it. I left the bar's quiet ambiance, returning to the street. Blood and Roses, spend time at the hotel. I always sort of wanted to spend time at the hotel. Just to talk to this Kari, because we actually haven't been spending a lot of time with this Kari. Go spend time at the hotel. I'm sorry, Marcus. We'll catch up later. Oh, my nose. Achoo! Apparently I just needed to sneeze. Great. Unlike usual, the lobby was fairly empty, though not completely. I noticed an elegant woman standing near the desk, her attention flickering idly around the room. Our gazes met for a moment, and she flashed me a sweet, lingering smile before averting her eyes again. Go to find Charisse? I could go find Charisse? I don't want to talk to Charisse. Approach the woman at the desk, go up and talk to David. Ugh, frick. You know what? We're at time. We'll do this next time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next part. Hope you have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are, whatever. Bleh. Bye.